Good morning, YouTubers. T Square here with T Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Saturday morning, although at the time of me shooting this video, it's last night. But we're going to be taking a look at all of our comments yesterday. We're going to be answering them one at a time. This is something I like to do every Saturday morning. We take all the comments that came in on the Friday video and we answer them. Now, most of the time they're about gold and silver. Sometimes they're about other topics that I've covered on the channel. However, who knows what the comments are going to be. So we're going to take a look at those. And I think it's going to be a great video. However, these videos do sometimes run a little bit long. So I have to say that right off. Some people don't have the ability to sit through a hour or two video. I don't know how long it's going to take. It all depends. Once we get talking and covering these, I try to cover each one in a timely manner, I guess you can say, but I also want to get the important information out. Some of these comments are simple, hey, great channel, and some of these comments are a little more in depth. Maybe they ask a specific question. Now, for the first time ever, I have to start off and cover the unpublished comments that could be offensive. I did not know there was even such a tab. But recently I had a question come up about a comment that didn't get read. I said I didn't see it. I don't know what happened. And I went in, talked to a couple people, went in, looked around, and then I was able to find that there is an offensive comment section that's being held. And there was one. There was one today. And Robert, you were the person. I don't know why they found it offensive, but it was kind of funny, and I'm going to get to that here in just a second. Before we get started, though, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. Help me out. Leave a comment. Hopefully it's not too offensive. And I hope everybody has a great day. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and check out our new series. We've got 2 episodes up already. These are videos that I'm trying to do in less than 10 minutes that cover a specific topic. I don't go too much into educating on other stuff. I stick specifically to the topic. The first one was the healthy correction, and the second one was the manipulation. I failed on the manipulation because it ran 11 minutes. So, but the other one I did good on with 6 minutes. And I'm going to try to keep these going for the time being. Our regular normal videos do run a little long. You guys know I like to talk. I like to make sure that people understand it. And I like to give a lot of real world examples so you can really understand what's going on. In a normal video, I treat people like, they don't really know everything maybe about gold and silver, so I try to kind of dig in a little bit. With these short series, I assume you know certain stuff, like what manipulation is, what a pullback is, that type of stuff. So I hope you enjoy these short videos. I definitely recommend watching them if you want to strengthen your knowledge and education about silver and gold. I think they're extremely important to kind of follow and see, get all the good understanding about what's going on. With that being said, let's jump in and let's talk about the offensive comment first. HT, coffee cup emoji, and a dove emoji. I found that funny. I didn't want to approve it just yet until I actually looked at it and showed you guys because I found that so funny. I'm guessing that's hello T. Drinking my coffee and listening to the channel. So thank you so much. I'm going to approve it, obviously. It's not a bad comment. I don't know how YouTube does, what they do, how they think some stuff could be offensive. Right off the bat, the very first comment that came up is it's essentially from new setup accounts. And so this one, I'm not going to sit here and read all through it, only because, one, it's foreign, and two, it's usually an advertisement. When I check these accounts real quick, it basically is advertising for an individual. You can check them out on Telegram. Personally, I don't go to people's Telegrams and check these things out. So for me, it's, just it is what it is. Moving on, somebody wrote number 1. The reason they wrote number 1 on my new series, I told people, hey, in the comments on my new series, drop a 1 so that way I know that you saw episode 1, and then maybe a 2 so I know you saw episode 2. Some people don't really like to leave comments. They just kind of watch the videos and move on, but the comments really help. So I told people if they just drop a number in there even, it really helps out the algorithm. So number one, thank you very much on that one. Go carnivore. You're welcome. Seriously, if you go carnivore, your life will change for the better exponentially. Do it for a month, and you will thank me later. So I'll read the reply real quick. I love it. Nothing but steak 24/7. Eggs, bacon, sardines, liver, gizzards, ham, and all meats, butter, ghee, and lard. So, yeah, this comment, I'm guessing, is someone that knows that I am dealing with some medical issues right now. I've actually done the carnivore diet. When I was military, I ranked super high on exams. And I ranked so high, they gave me an instant promotion. However, my CO, commanding officer, did not like that. And so he refused to give me my promotion, even though I was in the top 10% of the military, based on the test-taking ability. And so, needless to say, he wouldn't give me the promotion. And his excuse was I was overweight, and said, until you're within weight standards, I'm withholding your promotion, I'm withholding your transfer and everything. So I actually did the carnivore diet, or I did the Atkins diet, I should say, is actually what it was called. And I lost a huge amount of weight in an extremely short amount of time. However, I do believe that takes its toll on cholesterol levels, your heart. But it definitely lowers your weight really quick. So, but I'm not an expert on this stuff. So who knows? I may look into the carnivore diet a little bit more. I have seen a couple famous people that eat ribeye steaks every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I can't remember her name, looks really good. And she is a strong, I guess you can say, she's really pro that. She's like, look at a lion, look how muscular it is. And a lion eats nothing but meat. But my argument to that would be, look at a bison. It eats nothing but grass, but yet it's muscular too. So, I mean, anything can be said for this stuff. So, next comment, John. Good video. I did my yearly ounces and value inventory a couple days ago. Needless to say, my wife is finally on board. I showed her the value from last year to this year. I think she's going to start stacking. That's awesome that she's going to start stacking. I actually replied to this because I kind of laughed a little when I seen it. And I made a little comment about, why start stacking? Your stack's my stack. But needless to say, I said, if you say that, you're going to be sleeping on the couch or camping outside tonight. But needless to say, that's something I'm hearing from a lot of people now. Now that silver and gold have gone up so much, collecting coins has really gained in popularity, and I think it's going to gain even more. I talked to a few people that are in the precious metals business, and they told me they are just getting swamped with buyers. They're starting for the first time again to see more buyers than sellers, which I think is a really good sign. The sellers have already sold. I mean, the sellers sold at 40, the sellers sold at 50, the sellers sold at 60. They sold again at 70, and maybe they were lucky enough to sell in the 80s. I say lucky, but I'll explain why in just a minute. They got out, and then we had a pullback, and our pullback went from $84 to $70. And there's some people out there that say it's going to go down more. It's going to go down to 60. Personally, I don't think that to be the case. I think that kind of talk is designed to kind of keep people from buying right now. It's designed to get you to wait and buy in a month maybe, or when you see the $60, but I don't think 60 is coming back. And we've seen this kind of talk when silver got up to 30 and then came back down to 22. Oh, I'm going to wait and buy it back under 20, and we never saw it. We've seen this kind of talk when silver went up to 40 something and then plunged down, $5-6. People were still talking that way. We've seen it when silver hit 54, I think it was, or 53. And, people all were talking they were going to buy when it really dropped. I mean, really dropped. It dropped down to $46. That was a pretty good drop. And I'll be honest, what we're seeing right now, $84 dropping down to 70, that's a buy in my opinion. So I'm still picking up stuff if I can find the right deals. So who knows? We'll see how that plays out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're going to plunge back to 60, 50, 40. Maybe we'll drop all the way down to 20. Who knows? But I can tell you there's going to be a lot of people buying as the price comes down. And therefore, that will, in my opinion, dry up the inventory. But we'll see. Next comment. Value is watching your tribes. Yesterday's cost is today's cost. Yesterday's cost was based on gold. So here's the deal. Yesterday's price is going to be tomorrow's deals. And that's going to go on and go on and go on. I think if you can still pick it up at 70, you're extremely lucky. But now we're almost back at 73. We've got a ways to go. We're still $11 down from the high, essentially. 84, we're at 73. That's okay to me. The market's officially open back up next week. And everybody comes back to work on Sunday night. And it's a normal work week. After a week of normal operations, we'll see what happens then. For people that are waiting for some extreme pullback, I don't think it's coming. I think we've already seen it. And it's been a headache of a week, I'll be honest. It was extremely frustrating. It was extremely frustrating talking to people that are totally against silver and have been against silver. And they're still against silver. Don't be fooled. These people want to be right more than anything. And that's okay. I mean, they want to be right. They can be right. But most likely they'll probably be wrong. I hate to say that. And broke because they didn't stack while they had the chance. Things are getting worse. There's a lot of lies, a lot of propaganda, a lot of stuff going on with the banks. People don't even see what's happening. And that's it. Taking a quick look, the next comment, Chris. Metals started off nice, now being slipped. Also, owning a variety of metals makes the most sense. Gold could go berserk for a different reason. Then silver, platinum, palladium too. Thing is, people have been in for a long time. Are in much better shape than the bandwagoners. So I definitely would agree with that. I know we talk a lot on the channel about gold and silver. I've always said the safest thing someone can do is to be diversified in their investment portfolio. This is not an investment channel. This is just my personal opinions channel. I talk a lot right now about gold and silver because I've talked about it when it was cheap, and it's exciting now, so I still talk about it, but it's not financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Anybody is going to tell you a diverse portfolio is going to be the safe. Now, I've got to be honest with you, too. A diverse portfolio does not mean have all your money in gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. A diverse portfolio means have a variety of different investments in different categories. However, that's to be safe. If you're looking for a grand slam and you're not willing to settle for a single, then some people will risk a little bit more on precious metals. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but I know some of you all do. I've talked to some of you in person over the phone. I've talked to some of you on the Discord channel. You can join Discord right now absolutely free. I just updated the link, so you can click that link in the below the video and literally join for free right now. So if you're not a member, I would definitely consider becoming a member while it's free. And I've talked to a lot of you, and I talked to some people that are just extremely heavy in precious metals. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Each person has to make their own decision. I just want people to know any financial advisor, and I'm not a financial advisor, will tell you to be diverse. So you can make your own decisions on that note. But yeah, you're right. And anybody that's been stacking, as you said in the comments, are in way better shape than the bandwagoners right now, especially. There's a lot of issues going on in the banking sector. Not for today's video. This video is dedicated just to your comments. If you ask a comment, we're going to talk about it. That's something I do every Friday. So, Randy, good video, T. Didn't know that China and Japan markets not open today. CME has control today. Wait until Sunday night, Monday, for the true silver price, silver this weekend. So, yeah, we're going into the weekend. Everything's closed right now. I think the Asian markets were open last night, but I could be, or the night, not last night, the night before, Thursday night if you're in the United States. But you could be right. I didn't really check it enough to remember what time they opened. In fact, no, they would not have opened because it would have been New Year's Day for them. So you're right. However, the markets are fully open on Sunday night, and that's when the excitement, I think, will start, and it's going to get interesting when everybody is back. If we're going to see any kind of a big pullback or a better pullback or a deeper pullback, whatever you want to call it, or just go lower, the best chance of that happening, in my opinion, is going to be Sunday night at this point. I don't think we're going to see much more of a pullback at this point. I think we're off to the races, and they're risking a lot now to be crazy enough to try to short silver in this economy. But here's the thing. If you know you're about to lose everything, like I've always said, go broke. That's what a lot of people's attitude is. If you're going to lose everything, just go broke trying. And I think they could be trying to push the limits to how short they can take it, because they know at the end of the day, if they can't make delivery, that's it. It's nothing will really happen to big banks. They're just, the COMEX is going to end up doing a force majeure where they're not going to settle in silver. They're going to settle in dollars. Big banks that are short are going to end up probably just paying it out in paper, and they're going to get bailed out. They've always got bailed out. Maybe they'll take a bail-in, but either way, they're covered. Those of you that don't know what a bail-in is versus a bailout, they're getting their money covered by the government. A bail-in means if you've deposited money into that bank and it goes under, a bail-in means they take the depositor's money and the depositor gets certificates in the bank, shares. And you can imagine that everybody's going to want to sell their shares right off the bat, and the price of the share price is just going to plunge, and a lot of people are going to be out their money. At that point, who knows? Maybe it would be wise to just wait until the share price plunges and then buy the shares back up, because the big banks will be doing that. But that's for another conversation too. Next comment, walks with one. The world is changing fast. It definitely is changing fast. You either prepare for the changes or you're going to get run over. Next comment, Mom 4 of Minecraft. I'm guessing that's Mom of 4, maybe is how that's said. Mom, a mother of 4 and loves Minecraft. If you've got a mother of 4, I'm guessing you're probably spending some money on Minecraft, because I can tell you most kids are big into Minecraft. Good morning. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you so much, Mom of 4. It's going to be a good year, I think. I think it's really going to be a good year for the stackers. ZZZY, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. When you see what was a $10,000, when you see what a $10,000 collection is now, you should realize it's still the same amount of ounces, and you should realize the thing that you automatically rate its value is what is changing. And that's actually, that's so right. It's really the dollars that's changing. If you bought we're just going to use 100 ounces. If you bought 100 ounces 5 years ago, you probably only have $2,500 into it. And then over the years, that $2,500 continued to go up. And today, if you've got 100 ounces, that's basically $7,300. However, by the time you tack on premiums that I am convinced you can get back, that puts you at about $7,500. And that's real wealth. But I can't imagine why anybody would want to get out of a solid asset investment and go into a paper asset investment. Let's see. Jack, thanks, T. I think the short videos will attract more viewers. Thank you so much for that. I hope that is my case. I did not see that in the first 2 days yet. In fact, I've actually lost viewers in the first 2 days, but I'm not stressing it yet because the way things work with the algorithms and stuff. YouTube does start chokeholding you, I guess you can call it. Well, actually, that might not be the proper term. Yeah, that probably ain't the right term to use. YouTube will bottleneck you if you put too much content up. And so now they may be looking at it like 2 videos in one day plus a short is too much. And hopefully I'm not getting bottlenecked because I just started kind of taking off, I guess, a little bit. So I'm hoping that will keep up. In fact, I had my second best month last month, which was really cool. So special thank you to all of you that helped watch the channel. A special thank you to Scott for gifting 10 memberships to different people. I really do appreciate you doing that. And if you're not a member, it's worth becoming a member of the channel. We do a lot of cool stuff, cool events for members, plus your comments go right to the phone. I enjoy doing it, and it's a lot of fun. So next one. If they make a nickel the size of a cent and use zinc, the government could keep the nickel and not lose money, minting each one as they currently are. You're absolutely right. For those of you that don't know, they got rid of the penny because a penny is made out of zinc. The zinc has gone up enough to where it's costing them a penny to make it. There's discussions of them getting rid of the nickel, but you would be absolutely right. Before they get rid of the nickel, they could just redesign the nickel, make it a little bit smaller, and they could keep the design but make it smaller and make it out of zinc, and boom, that would be it. They would get to keep the nickel, and people wouldn't be even realize why they did that. They would just be like, oh, it's new money, it must be for the anniversary of the commemoration, the anniversary year, whatever. I mean, it's crazy. They could, but I don't think they will. They don't think. These people literally don't think. Moving on, Calvin, great video. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for that, my friend. I keep seeing the one, so it's confusing me a little if I'm on the right video. I had to look, and yeah, I mean, so the ones and the twos, the reason I said drop a 1 or a 2 on those new episode videos was I thought it would be really cool to see what members actually make it by putting a 1 in the videos, and then that same name, how many of them put the 2 in, and as they don't get a number in, you cross them off a list. It would be really cool to see who actually sees every video. And basically all the people that put 1s in that video, I write their names down, and then all the people that put in 2s, if they didn't put in a 2, I cross their name off the list. And then if they didn't put a 3, I cross their name off that list. And little by little, you're dropping people until there's like one final person standing, and you're the ultimate viewer. You ended up seeing every episode. I just thought that would be cool. Now, these ones, I just was explaining to people on the one. So when I see someone put a 1, that's what it was, Jack. The 1s were more for the episode videos, like episode 1, then they put a 2 here, episode 2, and then you just keep that going. And then by the time we get to 50, who will be the last person standing? And who knows? Maybe it would be cool to give something away to whoever is the one person to get that number in every video. Eventually, somebody will drop off and miss a video, and so there will be a clear person at the end. That's kind of what I was kind of thinking when I said drop the 1 in it. So if you've seen episode 1, go and drop the 1 in that. And if you've seen episode 2, go and just put a 2 in there. And that way I could put your name on that list. Let's see here. But I don't know what I'm going to do yet, and I don't even know. I mean, there may not even be one name by episode 3. Who knows? Let's see. Make sure I don't miss anything. Good morning, California, CGN. Hope you're having a great night. Well, morning now. Let's see here. Just good morning. Awesome. Good morning. I like those comments because it lets me know you watched the video, and it makes my day a little cheerful. when I see those comments, and they're simple to reply back to because I reply back to hundreds of comments a day. Let's see. That was a great explanation of why they have to keep putting money in the system. Never thought about it like that. Yeah, the debt-based system has to keep growing. As soon as it doesn't grow, that's it. It starts collapsing. Now, does it collapse all at once? No. I mean, if you start squeezing the money out, it tightens. It tightens, and there's not as much money to go around, and eventually a lot of people will have to default on their loans. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you had to check out yesterday's video where I talk about a fiat debt-based system versus a gold and silver system. Let's see, Mr. Happy Stacker. Good morning. Let's see what happens this week. I can't wait for the markets to open this week. It's going to be super exciting, and I think we're going to see it move higher. Let's see. I'm not sure how you pronounce this name. BWALSH. How's it going? Hope you're having a great night. New sub here. Excellent content. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Scrolling through to the next comment. Luna. How's it going, Luna? Jan Parker. Okay, this is a little bit of a long one, so I got to take a minute here. Okay. It's so crazy to me that people are so eager to cash in something that is obviously worth something for something worthless. It's such a childlike, short-term mentality. I think our public indoctrination system for making people unable to logically think outside of the box. How sad. My now ex, who had a double master in finance and accounting, was in charge of finance department for a legacy law firm, surrounded by people with generational wealth. Oh my word, I can already see where this is going. But was still completely opposed to having metals until about 5 years ago. We would have entered the market decades earlier in a much bigger way if he had not been so hard-headed. So this is something I have heard time and time again. Now, I got to be honest. I usually see that, don't take this the wrong way, I usually see that with women. When I look at my people that watch the channel, my demographic, YouTube gives me a demographic spreadsheet. How it knows your age group and your sex, male, female, I probably shouldn't have said that word, is beyond me, how they know all this about you. But it tells me everybody, whether you're male, female, age group, country of origin, and I get to see all this. Generally, usually men are stackers, and wives don't really want to get involved, but now more and more of them are getting involved. In your case, you were the wise one and understood that, and he didn't really. But here's the thing. These people in finance and accounting and all these things, they're being indoctrinated. They're being taught. These schools, especially colleges, I mean, I've got multiple degrees, but I don't have any licenses. Because I don't have any licenses, I can't claim to be a financial advisor, even though in the military I was a financial advisor for military people with their military classes that they give you. Although I'll be honest, I didn't talk about gold and silver back then. I talked about what they taught me to talk about, and that's the problem. Big pharma, finance, accountant, it's all designed to keep this game going. And everybody gets these big donations and stuff. It's sad because some people's have generational wealth. They really do. And when you look at Americans with generational wealth, it's generally put into paper. It's put into government CDs. It's put into stocks. It's put into a lot of things that are essentially built on a house of cards, in my personal opinion. True generational wealth. Picture the Chinese who are buying little gold beads and putting them away. Picture India, where they've been passing wives and women gold jewelry for hundreds of years. This has been a thing, and it's still a thing today. I was actually talking to a friend of mine who was with a Indian lady for a long time, and she has a lot of gold jewelry. We're talking a lot. And the family would give that. That would be the gifts, because they understood generally the women are better at finance, is what the way they look at it. Same within countries like Japan. Usually the women are the successful ones. Big companies, they're headed up by women. Here in the United States, it's different. Maybe that's because we don't put a proper value on women. I hate to say that. Maybe it's because we had women in the kitchen cooking for too long and we've instilled that. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I told the person that I was talking to, I said, man, I wish I could have just been a housewife. I would have been fine with that. I love cooking, sitting home. That would be right up my alley. And controlling the finances and stuff, that would be awesome. So I wouldn't have a problem with that. However, I know some people don't like that. And sometimes people don't like that because it's a pride thing. And who knows? But either way, you have a firm understanding on this stuff because I see you in the comments all the time. And, I mean, your comment pretty well said it. And hopefully, I know you said, unfortunately, my now ex. I'm sorry for that. That can make stuff difficult when that happens. But it's good that you're actually in precious metals now. And you're probably very happy with your investments. Next comment, unknown. Hoorah! Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you so much. Definitely Happy New Year. Scrolling down. Buffalo Silver. Every time I read that name, I always think the slot machine. Buffalo. The slot machine. I love going to the casinos. Okay. Good morning. I have some issues at my house. My wife thinks it like I am playing. Oh, I did read. I was like, I already know I read this comment. Some of the comments I had replied to, and then I had to change a couple things so that way I could catch every comment. Good morning. I have some issues at my house. My wife thinks it's like I'm playing with gold and silver coins. I can't get her to understand that it's real money, not a hobby. She also fusses about me coin roll hunting pennies and pulling out the copper ones. I tried showing her the way silver and gold have gone up. Also, I tried showing her different videos on the subject, but still, her telling me to stop playing with my coins. And this is exactly what I was just talking about. Usually, we see that more. The men are into this stuff, and the females don't believe in it. It's kind of funny because I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. I said, man, I don't know what I'm doing wrong in my life. I got to get me a woman. He's like, why? I said, women push you to do more. Otherwise, you're just unmotivated. I said, here it is New Year's and I'm unmotivated. And he's like, you don't need a woman. You just need to start doing more stuff. And I'm like, okay. So it was kind of a funny conversation on that note. But, in general, it's sad to see this position. I've seen this time and time again. A lot of people have a hard time. And I've even seen this break up relationships, including one a little bit closer to home. I'm not going to get into that on this video either. But, some people don't realize. They just don't realize the value of precious metals. They don't. And some people, I'll be honest, they get into it just to try to appeal to somebody. And they don't understand it. I know one lady right now that I dated for a little while that has an amazing collection. Maybe 200-300 ounces. Never checks the price. Unless I pop in and see her, bump into her work, doesn't check the price. She's like, nah, I'll hear it from you whenever you come in. And I'm like, have you even looked at the price of silver or gold lately? Nope. Don't even know. I said, what do you think the price is? She said, the last I looked, it was like $30. And I was like, wow. Yeah, it's a big difference. But some people just don't have the excitement behind it. They understand they're saving this stuff because it is wealth. And, it's, I guess it really doesn't matter if you're looking at it every day or not. If you bought it as an insurance policy, you don't check the value of your policy on a regular basis like some of us do. I check mine every day. I don't know the exact value of it, but I check the spot price of it every day, I should say. So who knows? It's a hard thing to say. I would say sure that video, but sometimes people go into it without really realizing. And the sad thing is people are going to realize, most people are going to realize when it's too late. They are going to realize when essentially there's no opportunity to get into silver anymore. It's gone. It's all bought up. So moving on to the next comment. I'll go down here for a minute. Don't be a fool. This comment's from Don't Be a Fool. I've become so greedy and obsessed. I had to take a step back. I think I have gold fever. I'm literally dreaming of ingots. Replies to that comment. It's Scrooge McDuck syndrome. Just don't try to swim in it. Peter Griffin already disapproved. Joyous thoughts. It happens sometimes. Taking a break is healthy. Last night I had a dream. I found 1 ounce of gold, a 1 ounce gold bar. Wow, that's a pretty cool dream. That would be real in real life. That would be awesome. Really small ones. Okay, so yeah, anybody, I don't know if anybody's ever practiced any kind of dream state. It was something I used to do when I was younger. I don't really do it now, where if you constantly think about something before you go to bed, you will dream about it. And it's kind of cool. It's cool in a way if you like good dreams. If you sit there and you're tired and you keep thinking about something, you've got it in your mind, and then all of a sudden you fall asleep. As your body enters REM sleep, you will start to dream about it. And it is kind of interesting if you do that. And so I think people accidentally will be thinking about, they're laying in bed, they're checking the silver price, they're putting their phone down, and they're just sitting there thinking, oh my word, my silver value, I hope we see $100 silver next week. I hope we see $500 silver. You're falling asleep and you're like, man, could we ever hit $1,000 1-to-1 ratio? Could all my silver be worth the price of gold? And then all of a sudden you fall asleep, and before you know it, you're actually dreaming of this. There's a lot of people that practice that, but who knows? So it can happen. Stepping back just means you don't really think about it for a while, but that's hard to do. I'll be honest, it's hard for me to take a day off from precious metals. The only time that ever happens is if I got to get up super early, start my day, I got a lot to do, and I forget. Because I got so much to do, and then all of a sudden, end of the day comes, I'm winding down, and I go and I pick my phone up, and I've got 5 to 10 texts on there saying, hey, what do you think of this? Hey, what is this worth? Hey, what? And then I'm like, oh my word. And then all of a sudden I jump over, and we cannot be at the end of the comments already. If so, that's crazy. And then I read my comments, and the first thing I jump over and do is check the price. So there have been mornings where I did not wake up and check the price, but those are extremely rare. Good morning. Let's talk about silver and what is going on. Yes, silver is silver. We talk about silver. We love silver. I like silver a little better than gold. I just wish I had more. I wish I had gotten more of it when I had the chance. But that's going to be everybody's opinion. A lot of people see the silver in the videos, but they don't understand that's not all my silver. I've opened up packages for friends that I got into it. I've showed stuff that wasn't mine. But here's the thing. I got a lot of those people into it. So that's why when they get the package and, hey, I just got my package and you coming over? Sure, I'll be over there right now. Dude, can I open it for you? And sometimes I get there and it's already open. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Can I show it? And that's cool. I mean, most people don't mind. And so some of the stuff you see, a lot of the stuff you see is not mine. It's people that have been building it up. And what people don't understand that I find so comical, because I've had people call me up and say, dude, you must be a millionaire now. No, I'm not. It's a common thing, but let's take a look here real quick. We're going to pull up, this is my channel right here. We're going to pull up some shorts real quick. What a lot of people don't realize is you see this video, you see this video. That's the same video. The only thing I did was overlaid a different sound where I talk about something else. So this video was used 1, 2, 3, 4, zoomed in versus not zoomed in, 5, 6, and I'll tell you why I do that in just a minute, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've had people 11, 12, 13, the only 14, 15. The only difference is the sound. And 16, 17. So that video right there that I just showed you was used 17 times. And I'll tell you why that is. The information that we talk about on these short videos is, I believe, vital. But unfortunately, if people don't see silver, they don't pay attention to it. I need to explain this in a short video, so that way people will understand that, because I get tired of people asking me, are you a millionaire yet? No. If I was a millionaire, let me put it this way, I would already be in the Philippines. It is one of my goals to go move maybe even to the Philippines. And when I go, that's it. I'm going. And, you know, I mean, I understand some people, they've got a lot of money, a lot of wealth. I still have some properties, and that has done really well for me. They're paid off, so that's a good thing. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, some cool stuff every once in a while, I will pick it up. Let's see here. This I picked up right here. I mean, someone offered that to me for $3 an ounce under spot price at the time. It's 12-ounce bar. You're almost never going to see that. And the same here. I got that one for $3 under spot, 12-ounce bar. These little cheap coins I picked up. Some people like them. Some people don't. This right here was a trade that I helped two of my friends coordinate this trade right here. One person had gold. One person had silver and wanted the other. And it was in junk silver. And so the guy's like, heck yeah, I'll trade it. So I helped him out. And obviously some of this stuff is really mine. Like, that's my real lunch. I really did see the butterflies. I really was at Niagara Falls. Even though that's off an old video that me and my son went to Niagara Falls. I really did see the Tesla and so on. And I don't mind talking a little extra now because it says we're at the end of the comments. Good. Okay, we already read that one. Yeah, 20 years ago. I'm not sure what that comment means. Yeah, 20 years ago, Conrad said. Who knows what that was pertaining to. I'm guessing that had something to do with the gold and silver standard, but we haven't been on the gold and silver standard for a long time now. They stopped putting silver in money in 1964, although the Kennedys 40%'s got to last a little longer. So, I mean, maybe 20 years ago you had an opportunity to buy, because I know 25 years ago I had an opportunity to buy gold at $400, but I was thick. I was the thick one at that point. I was indoctrinated. I was in the military doing as I was told and following directions. And like I said, and I did financial advisors for the younger people to get them to spend their money wisely and invest. And someone got me into it. And it's an endless system. One person indoctrinates one and the other one indoctrinates, and so on and so on. Before you know it, you've got a ton of people that are just telling people, put your money in the stock market and keep blowing up the bubble. Mike Awesome to see your comments. Mike's comment I actually missed in the last video, but not because I missed it, because it didn't show up for me. So, okay, so hold on tight, folks. The market is currently in a roller coaster top. Well, it says a rolling top. We are in the middle of a Wall-E Coyote moment. The economy has run off a cliff and is kicking midair, just waiting to fall. That's a very good possibility right now. I don't even think people even realize what's going on with the banks, which is a whole nother thing. I just think we will start to see signs of complete failure in the next 6 months. Repo spikes, yield curves, Fed panic, stock market sell-off by major holders, and job market failures. Oh, wait. All of that is already happening. So it's funny you say that, because as I was reading that, it's like, dude, we're already seeing it now. And then I got to the end and it said, or wait, we're already seeing it. If you have not prepared for what is coming, please do so now. The government is already broke and will not be coming to save you. If you're here and you're reading this, you probably have already taken some smart financial steps, but you need to be concerned about your physical safety and security as well. Water, food, a way to make power. Now that I think about it, I don't think I have a way to make power. I have a generator, but I'm not really convinced that, well, yeah, you could, but I don't think I would want a generator up and running when no one else has power. The fuel, too, is going to be hard to procure. So who knows? Yeah, I don't think people will be able to find gasoline at that point. These are more valuable than a pile of metal under certain times. I hope the letter is well. We need, but for the love of yourself and your family, if you have one, be prepared. Even 10-year-old Boy Scout knows the importance of their motto, be prepared. I wish I was actually a Cub Scout leader when my son was a Cub Scout. I wish everyone a happy and prosperous new year. Thanks, T, for sharing your time and knowledge with everybody. We appreciate all your hard work. So let's talk about this comment. So, yeah, I mean, first of all, we're already seeing repo spikes. We're seeing credit cards. People are just letting their credit cards go. They're not paying them. We're seeing the yield curve spike. We're seeing the Fed start to panic, I think. I think that's why they're cutting rates. You don't cut rates when everything is going great. No matter what they tell you, you don't cut rates when times are good. You raise interest rates. Stock market sell-off, it's kind of mixed signals. I don't think we've seen a drastic sell-off like I think will be coming soon. Job markets are already getting wiped out. Even at grocery stores, refineries, they are cutting. So it is getting ugly. You did very well, I think, with this comment down here, too. I've always said water and food have to be your number one priority. After water and food, if you've got a certain amount of food and water on hand, or you have a way to get it, if you've got a well, you've got water. Just make sure you can know how to get that water out if the power grid goes down. After that, you need some kind of security. Once you have food and water, if no one else does, you've got something that people will come for. How you protect it is up to you. There's a lot of different ways because a lot of you are in different states, different countries, and different places have different rules. I mean, you're not going to have a pew-pew if you're in Canada. I mean, for the most part. I mean, some people do, but who knows? Probably don't even have really a pew-pew if you're in a place like Massachusetts. Who knows what other states, maybe California, whatever. But you need a way to protect it. I've heard people say bow and arrow. I've heard people say mace, pepper spray. Who knows? I mean, that works to a certain point. Each person has to decide how to protect their stuff their own way. Are these things more valuable than gold and silver? So, yeah, I believe they are for a while. And like you said, under certain times. If things started collapsing today, I worry about those things more. Gold and silver is for when things start coming back up and running. And unfortunately, if you are at the age of 50 or more, by the time the system collapses, unfortunately, most over 50s probably won't be here to see it get rebuilt. Because when it collapses, it's going to collapse. It's going to be ugly. You can expect the collapse to last a while. I mean, look at the Great Depression. It didn't end overnight. However, on the flip side, things will slowly come back into order. The rules will be different. And when it's all said and done, they will probably, in my opinion, go back to a sound money system. And they'll be like, if you want to have money, turn in some of your jewelry or anything made of silver or gold, and we're going to melt it down. We're going to stamp it. It's going to be new coins, and that's it. And real things will have value again. The money will have value again. And if you know how to grow crops, if you've got crops up and running, you'll be able to trade that for other stuff. And that's why some people, I hear people say, oh, what good is a yard full of corn on the cob? What good is silver? You can't eat all the corn on the cob yourself. What do you do with the extra corn? Trading it to someone for something else that you need right now, or trading it for a piece of silver or a piece of gold, is pretty valuable. And some of y'all have a lot of food. Some of y'all have more food maybe than you could even need. Because keep in mind, there's still going to be food out there, I believe. I just believe it's going to be a lot more expensive. I believe it's going to be a lot harder to get. And I don't think anybody's going to come and save you. I've tried explaining this to some people, and they're like, dude, you know better than that. Look what happened during Katrina. The government came in, they gave out MREs, they gave out fresh water, they gave out ice. Look what happened during Hurricane Harvey. Same thing. Look what happened in the floods. Look what happened in California. Look what happened in the fire. You know, to a certain point, yes. But here's the thing. When something major happens on a whole U.S.-wide scale, there ain't enough people to come and rescue you. Either you're prepared or you're going to go without. And I've had people ask me, what does that mean for the old people like my parents? You don't want to know. If you have to ask that, you're not prepared. Why do I say that? Because if you have to ask a question like that, you have not put the thought into what is going to happen. And if you haven't put the thought into what's going to happen, you definitely haven't prepared for anything on that nature. It's great. For those of you that have been stacking coins, you've made a fair amount of wealth. I know some people will say you don't make money off gold and silver. To a certain point, you're right. You don't make money off of it. You preserve your wealth. However, in a world where silver is going up faster than the price of groceries, you kind of did make out. And you know, that's something to consider. Maybe taking some silver or cut back on buying some silver and work on those items that we just mentioned. Or you can just go online and learn how to make a water filtration. Learn how to use vines to get water. A lot of people don't even know some of these tricks. That you can take a bucket of dirty water, cut a vine top, cut a vine bottom, fresh cuts, put it from one bucket into a mason jar, and you will see the water slowly seep through the vine and get sucked upward into the mason jar. I may do a video on that. I've had people ask me about that in the past, so I may end up doing that pretty soon, especially because I'm fixing to try, first sign of the winter being over, I'm going to try to plant a bunch of coyote squash. Some people call it chayote. Some people call it coyote squash. It's, if you just type in what is coyote squash, Google's going to correct you and give you the proper name. So, supposedly it grows on long vines. It can get up to 50 feet long. It can produce over 100 vegetables, 100 squashes, and those squashes will each drop to the ground and produce another 100. You could literally cover a house in this stuff. It's incredible. So, it does serve a purpose. So who knows? We'll see, if you guys are prepared. I'm hoping when stuff does collapse that I'm prepared, and I'm hoping a lot of you are prepared too. So I'm going to end. I think I might be ending it here, which is crazy. I can't believe there was that few comments in here, but it looks like I did get everything. I guess it just wasn't quite as many. I mean, it said 60 comments. But those 60 comments were actually a lot of, I mean, this right here was a lot. I mean, this was just someone advertising for someone on Telegram. And that was a ton of them. So, show more replies. Look at this. The list just goes on these replies. It goes all the way down. Show more replies. And then you got my reply at the bottom. I'm looking real quick. So that's pretty much everything onto that video. This is probably our least commented Friday video, even though we had a lot of comments, but it was just a lot of replies to other people's comments. Yeah, and that's everything published. And then, like I said, we had that one from Robert that was held. Although it shouldn't be held now. So, okay, yeah, it's gone. Okay. With that being said, that's going to wrap up today's video. However, let's just take a quick look and see what silver ended at yesterday. Silver ended at $72.77, up $1.23 or 1.7%. A long ways from the top. Let's be honest. Let's zoom it out. We'll zoom it out 1 month. You can see the top came up slow and steady. We had a nice big spike. We had a plunge down. We had it try to come back up. Some people are saying that this is a sign right here, this lower and lower tops, that we're not going to get back up to where we should be. I think within a week we're going to pass this one, maybe even pass this one. And then within 2 weeks we should pass this one. But I'm being a little pessimistic when I say that. We could pass this one within the next week, because smart money understands what's going on. And that will be it. Once we pass this top right here, $84, that's it. A lot of people know that this is going to run. And when it does, we might see a little bit of a drop down and then all of a sudden take off again. So I'm favorable on this. I'm not worried about this at all. It's a buying opportunity. If you're wise, you probably picked up a little bit, but I'm not an expert. This is just my opinions. I have to say that. And anything can happen in the markets. It's possible we plunge all the way back down to 20. It would blow my mind if we did. And if we did, you have to understand one of two things is going to happen. If silver plunges back down to $20, what is the gold-silver ratio going to be? Let's just say it goes back to where it was 125 to 1. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be trading their gold in and getting silver, and they will wipe out the silver situation. It won't be a question of physical silver. It just won't. You won't be able to get nothing. You won't be able to even probably find mercury dimes at that point, or even Buffalo nickels. Not Buffalo nickels. War nickels. 40% halves, nothing. So definitely want to be prepared. And with that being said, I think that's everything. Comb through real quick. We'll just check the Bitcoin price. I haven't checked it yet today. 90,000. Okay, so it's up a little bit. Assets based by market cap. Silver moving up towards NVIDIA again. We are sitting right now at about $40 billion over Apple. Not really 100% safe, but moving in the right direction again. So we'll see how that plays out. We don't even need to talk about the U.S. debt clock because there is no end to this. Continuing to go in debt at $38,560 billion. That's it. We're going down quicker and quicker. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap up here. If you did not yet hit that thumbs up button, take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, do the ultimate thing. Hit that subscribe button. I don't know for sure if I'll have the episodes on the weekend. I may end up utilizing the weekend from here until Monday morning. But I may end up doing a surprise video maybe on Sunday. I know a lot of people like the surprise videos, but definitely keep an eye on the channel regularly because you never know. Usually on the weekends, I do like doing the short videos, like the 1 minute videos, because they tend to get awesome views, and I could really use the pump right now, especially going into the new month after a record month. It'd be nice to get that record month to stay up there. So, but definitely check out these episodes. These episodes are for you guys to get a better, firmer foundation of what's really going on with precious metals. And with that being said, be sure to check out some of these other great videos. I'm putting some hyperlinks around here so you can check them out. And I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Click one of these videos and hyperlink into the next one. Take care, everybody, and thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.